Welcome back to Self-Care Podcast, the show where we mix a shot of inspiration with practical tips to kickstart your day. I'm Rayan, and together we'll turn simple ideas into daily habits that make life smoother, happier, and way more productive. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive right in.
Addiction. Addiction is when a person can't stop doing something, like a habit or behavior, even if it's harmful or not good for them. It usually means being dependent on something, either physically or mentally. Example: he has an addiction to video games. He plays all night and forgets to sleep. Smoking can cause addiction and it's very hard to quit.
Hello, and welcome back to the Learning English podcast. I'm Avery.
And I'm Eden. And today we're tackling a bit of a heavier topic, but a really important one.
That's right, we're calling this episode Breaking the Loop. We're going to be talking about addiction.
And not just the big, scary stuff you see in movies. We mean the everyday loops we can all get stuck in. From our phones to work to, anything, really. The goal is just to talk about it openly and maybe explore some small, tiny steps towards change.
Exactly. I think when people hear the word addiction, their minds jump straight to drugs or alcohol. And of course, that's a huge part of it for many, but it's broader than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's really any behavior that you can't stop doing, even though it's causing you harm. Like mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours when you know you should be sleeping.
Or gaming until 3 a.m. I've been there. It's that feeling of compulsion, like you're not fully in control.
Right. And it's so easy to just say, oh, just stop. But it's never that simple. There's always something underneath, Stress, loneliness, anxiety.
Totally. It's often a coping mechanism that's just gone a bit haywire. You're trying to escape a bad feeling. And this behavior, gives you a temporary fix, a little hit of dopamine.
A temporary fix. That's the perfect way to put it. Because the relief never lasts. And that's the trap.
Yeah, that's the loop we're talking about, right? You feel a trigger, maybe it's boredom or stress from work.
Yep. And then comes the urge, the craving. It can feel so overwhelming. Your brain is just screaming at you to do the thing.
So you do it. You pick up the phone, you open the game, you eat the junk food. And for a minute, relief. The noise in your head stops.
But then, what comes after? For me at least, it's often guilt or shame, like, why did I just waste 2 hours? I'm so weak. And that bad feeling, becomes the trigger for the next time.
And the loop starts all over again. It's exhausting. It really is. And it can make you feel so isolated because you think you're the only one who can't just get a grip.
Exactly. It's a very lonely cycle. You feel trapped by your own brain almost.
So, how do we even begin to break it? It feels like this giant, impossible water climb.
I think the key is you don't try to climb the whole wall at once. You find one loose brick. You focus on something incredibly small.
Okay, like what? What's a loose brick in this metaphor?
Well, for starters, just awareness. The next time you feel that urge, don't immediately act. Just pause for 3 seconds and just notice it. Say to yourself, there's the urge. Interesting. No judgment, just noticing.
That sounds deceptively simple. Just noticing?
It is, but it creates a tiny bit of space between the feeling and the action. In that space, you have a choice. Maybe your choice is still to do the thing, and that's okay. But you're building a muscle.
The pause muscle. I like that. So what's next after you pause?
Maybe you try a tiny interruption, like, okay, I feel the urge to scroll. Before I do that, I'm going to stand up and drink a glass of water. It disrupts the automatic pilot nature of the loop.
And it gives your rational brain a chance to catch up. And I think the most important thing through all of this is self-compassion. You're going to mess up. You're going to fall back into the loop. The goal isn't perfection.
Not at all. The goal is just to be 1% better than yesterday. It's about breaking the cycle, not punishing yourself.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to think about, but in a good way. So, to recap, addiction is a loop, not a moral failing.
Right. And breaking it starts with super small steps. Awareness, a tiny pause, a simple interruption, and being kind to yourself through the process.
This was a really valuable conversation, Eden. Thanks for going there with me.
Of course. And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning into a heavier, but hopefully helpful episode of the Learning English podcast.
We'll be back next week with a lighter topic. We promise. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.
Thanks for tuning in to Self-Care Podcast. Remember, it's the little daily habits that brew the biggest changes over time. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your productivity and your life perk right up. Until next time, keep sipping, keep striving, and have an amazing day.